Hi, this is Esther with Discover Your Origins. This is a Research with Me video on Lucy Ann Allen, and it's a follow-up from my last one. I'll put the link in the description box below if you want to watch that one first so you can kind of see where I'm at. A Research with Me video is not a how-to video. It's just watching me do research in real time. Hopefully you'll be able to pick up a few tips and tricks with some of the things I do and learn from my mistakes as well. But let's jump into Lucy Ann Allen. I had created a research plan, which I'll put up on the screen, in which I was going to look up the Civil War packet for her husband, Benjamin L. Krebs. I was going to look for the original marriage record for Lucy and Benjamin to just double check the date. And then I was going to merge Mary Allen and Betty Krebs, which you can see I didn't get to, which is okay and pretty normal for me to create a research plan and then go off track and look at other things, which is exactly what I did here. And I'll show you what I found. I'm trying to do better with my research plans because if you create a research plan, it helps keep you focused. And I tend to say, no, I need to look at one more thing. But let's start looking at what I found. And I need to jump over to Benjamin Krebs' page here to show you. And in the last video, I had made an assumption that was wrong. I thought, well, Benjamin Krebs probably died in the Civil War. And if you had been paying attention, his marriage date is in September of 1865, and Robert E. Lee had surrendered in April of 1865. So the Civil War was over when these two got married. So most likely he did not die in the Civil War. And so that's exactly what I found when I read his Civil War packet. And you can see here, it says there's 17 record hints. For whatever reason, Family Search serves up each page of a Civil War packet as a separate image or hint. And I went to Fold 3 and just pulled all of the images and then uploaded them here. You know, what's amazing is that he survived some pretty major battles. I think he was wounded in one of them, but you know, he goes through the war, and you know, there's different things that happened with his service. For example, in this one, he had to do some extra service or extra duty because he got paid twice for the same service. That was kind of an interesting little twist that I found. But you know, he was in a few different battles. He was wounded a little bit, but he survived the war. And I just find that amazing because there were some, like I said, some pretty big battles that he would have been involved with. And he survived. And he did return home, apparently, to Winston County, Mississippi, where him and Lucy were married. And I did find the original marriage record for Benjamin and Lucy, and I did not upload it here. I should have, because I only have his Civil War packet. So I've got to go get the image for the marriage record and put it up here. But the marriage date that is on their profile is accurate. It is the 5th of September, 1865 in Winston County, Mississippi. That's curious because Lucy said that she was married within the last year in 1860. And I did show this in the previous video, but I can show it again here. Okay, so here's that census page, and she's up here at the top. And you can see here, Lucy, age 16, and then this column over here on the right where there's this check mark, there's a tick mark here and it says married within the year. And that's a little bit bothersome because that's 1860. So that means that she was married sometime between 1859 and 1860. Now her age, 16, I mean, girls married young sometimes, and it's totally possible that she was, but she was listed in her father's household as Lucy Allen. So it's a mystery and it's bothered me. And so I do want to do a search here looking for another marriage record that may include Lucy Allen. So I've got this other tab open to search the historical records. You can get here to this page by going to search records. And I'm going to search a specific collection. I've noticed in Family Search of recently, and I don't know what may be happening, but I think some of their search algorithms have changed. If you do a general search in this search box, it does not return every possible place where she may appear in a record. You may narrow it down by city or state or something. It doesn't matter. It's just not going to return everything. And I found that you get better results by going to specific record collections. You will get search results by doing just a general search, but it's not very effective, and you're going to get a lot of results that are irrelevant. And there's other things going on with search I'm not entirely sure about. So we're not going to focus there. We're going to come down here and find a collection. And I'm just going to start typing Mississippi and then marriages. And there's 2 marriage record collections. And we're going to search both of them just to be sure. So this one is a name index. So it doesn't have the original marriage records. But we'll just do a search and we'll see if we can find a Lucy Allen. And it's in Mississippi, so we'll just do a general search just in that collection and see what we can find. And she was in Winston County, Mississippi, so we want to look there. There's 90 results, and we'll just scroll through. Here's a Lucy H. Allen in 1869. She was married to Benjamin by 1865, so probably not her. And that's the thing, is there can be more than one Lucy Allen in a location, so we want to be careful. But let's see, there's 5 pages here. So I'm going to go ahead and search through here, and if I find something, I will come back and show you. Okay, I'm back, and I didn't find anything for Winston County. I mean, there was that one other marriage. I am here going to narrow my search parameters by putting in the county for my location. And there's just this one, but I don't think it's a match. I mean, Winston County, it is attached to this Lucy Henrietta, and ours is a Lucy Ann. So it's not a match to ours. So we're going to go back to search records and look at that other record collection. Okay, it's the Mississippi County marriages index and images of marriages. So we'll do Lucy Allen. We'll just do that first. There's probably going to be a lot of results though. Yeah, 501. Okay, so I am going to narrow it down to Winston, Mississippi. All right. Huh. That's odd that it returned Webster, Mississippi, but that's the wrong date anyway, so we'll just ignore it. There's 6 pages of results here, so I'm just gonna page through these and then we'll come back. The further away I get from the initial results through the pages, the results become less relevant. You can see here it's pulling up results for people other than Lucy Allen. And like I said, there's something going on with the search, so it's a little bit frustrating. It's a little bit too fuzzy of a search. I would like a little bit better matching. And so anyway, it's possible that there are some other Lucy Allens in here that could be a match, but it's just not making itself apparent. It looks like a lot of these marriages are early 1900s, but the entire collection is 1858 to 1979. So hard to say. we could go to Winston County directly. So let's try doing that. To do that, we'll go to search catalog and we'll do a search for Winston, Mississippi. There it is. And we'll look at vital records here. And there's a marriage record collection. There's another one. So we could look, there's 3 or 4 marriage record collections, so it's hard to know for sure which one to look at. I mean, thoroughly exhaustive research, you should look at all of them. But they're going to be duplicates in a couple of these probably. So we'll just see if we can even look at some of these. Okay, that's a book. All right, so this is films. And I can see Family Search is updating their pages here because this is a little bit different looking. You got to know which volume to look at. There's not an index, it looks like. So that would be time consuming. And this first volume is not even available to look at online. So okay. Oh, here we go. Index to marriage records. All right. We'll take a look at that. Okay, so when you're looking at a film, you can gauge about how much work it's going to be based on how the original documents are created. So for example, we've got an index here, but the bride's last names, for example, are not alphabetical, other than by the first letter and the last name. So I would need to go through every A page to see if I can find Lucy Allen. And it may take several pages to look and make sure you don't miss anyone, because there's an Allen there. But we got to look for Lucy Allen. And so there are quite a few pages that have to be looked at. And I didn't even start with the first one. This is another Family Search is tweaking some of their images and catalogs of how things look again. And they have this new dark mode in case you haven't seen it. I don't know if in this video I'm going to keep looking. I think the index record collections that I looked at are probably include these images that I'm looking at now. And the images are not always perfectly indexed. And so it is worth, if you can, to go and look at the actual images yourself, because I have found things missing. Anyway, I just am getting distracted because I found another Allen here that is in the same family, Mary Jane Allen to SS Houston. I need to, well, I'm not sure if that's the same person, but anyway, distractions. All right, so I'm not going to continue in the video here looking. I'll look at off camera, and if I find anything, I can come back, but I don't know that I'm going to find another marriage record for her. So we have to explain why Lucy Allen said that she was married in the last year. And I'm getting a sense that Lucy and Benjamin were probably involved before their official marriage date, but I can't really say that for sure. It does seem odd that she stays in her father's household even after her marriage, and she retains or is recorded with her maiden name. You know, she's married in 1865, but in the 1870 U.S. Census, she's Lucy Allen. And then, you know, the note that she was married in the last year also. So maybe, you know, that was a notation that she was engaged. It's a mystery. I can't figure it out. I'm going to keep looking through the marriage record collections and see if I can find anything else. But here's that index record for that marriage record. And I did find the original image, so I'm going to upload it. All right, so that's Lucy Allen and Benjamin Krebs. Now there's some other things that I found out about Benjamin. And so I'm going to jump over to his person page. There we go. And I did not attach all these record hints for a Civil War packet. They're still hanging out here. I'll have to attach them at some point. But there's some interesting things I learned about Benjamin and his family. So Benjamin is the son of Etienne Stephen Krebs. And Stephen Krebs passed away after the Civil War in 1869 in Winston, and his estate went through probate. And I did add it here. I think it's in the, let's see, here we go, Winston probate records. And I went through this, and the interesting thing to note about this is that Benjamin Krebs was noted as having traveled to Indian Territory. So let me find that page. The probate packet has several pages, and I read through every single one. It was quite an involved process, and it's hard to read this. It says that Etienne Stephen Krebs had passed away, and that the assets were being divided and taken care of. And there's a list of the children. So give me a second and I will find that list. Okay, here we go. It's on this page. All right, so this lists the children of Stephen Krebs. So we've got Isabella, Antoinette, Benjamin Krebs, Reuben Krebs, John William Krebs, all of whom are residing in Indian Territory, except for John William Krebs and Margaret Hamill. So that means that Benjamin and his siblings traveled to Indian Territory, which would be Oklahoma area, sometime before this document was created. So we need a date. Let me look for a date here. Might be on the previous page. The January term of 1873. Okay, so in the January term, so that's somewhere in probably the first 3 or 4 months of 1873, Benjamin Krebs was in Indian Territory. And it's very possible that he went to Indian Territory by even 1870, because Lucy's not with him. She's with her father in the 1870 U.S. Census and listed as Lucy Allen, with her daughter as a 3-year-old. So they are separated. Now, you could say, well, was it meant to be a temporary separation? What could have happened? And I need to do some more looking. So let's go back to Benjamin Krebs. Okay, so maybe I'll put a timeline on the screen. I don't know, but in 1865, Lucy and Benjamin are married. By 1870, Lucy is living with her father and is recorded as Lucy Allen. And we know that Benjamin, sometime between 1865 and 1873, he and several of his siblings have moved to Indian Territory. And reading a little bit further on the Krebs family is that his mother may have been partly Choctaw. I'm not sure, but they may have had reason to think they could get land in Oklahoma if they were part of the tribe. I don't really know for sure. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know where in Indian Territory they went. I need to look at that list of siblings and see if I can find them in the 1870 or 1880 US Census. Now, somebody has put in here that Benjamin died in 1880 or about 1880. And Lucy is listed as Lucy Krebs in 1880. So it's hard to say what happened between the censuses. Lucy is not mentioned in the estate paperwork for her father-in-law. We just know that Benjamin has left Winston County, Mississippi. So, new research plan, and I'll put it up here on the screen, is that I need to look for Benjamin Krebs in Indian Territory in the 1870 and 1880 U.S. Census. Along with that, I also need to look for some of his siblings to see if I can identify a potential location where I could look for a death record or maybe a headstone. I suspect that they probably didn't have a lot of money, so if he did die, there may not be any record of it or even a headstone. But there was a lot of land with the father's estate, so they may have had money, but it's really hard to say. Most of his father's estate was sold, and then just whatever money was left was given to the family. I'm not really sure what happened. The estate paperwork didn't really go into a lot of detail on that. I think at the end of the day, this is going to be a case for DNA. I think it would be good to confirm any descendants of Mary with descendants of the Krebs, just to make sure that they share DNA. I think it would be useful to make sure that she is a daughter of Benjamin Krebs. She probably is, but I think it would be good to have that confirmation, because there's something there in the story between Benjamin and Lucy that is unwritten, and it's hard to say what that is. And it's hard to speculate because the records don't tell what that is. He could have gone to Oklahoma or Indian Territory to make his fortune. She may have stayed behind because she had a young child, waiting for him, and never heard from him. He died. Who knows? Maybe she did travel to Indian Territory and then came back. So I've got to at least try to locate where Benjamin was in Indian Territory, and then kind of just go from there. So anyway, stay tuned. There's going to be more. We'll see you next time.